tensions rise. Meantime, new equipment at the Royal Bahamas Defense Force base will tell you exactly what it is. And later, hiya! Find out how one young girl kicked and punched her way to the top of a sport and the inspiring message she has for all. This is Eyewitness News, the weekend edition, and it starts right now. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Devontae Hanna. Thanks so much for joining us, topping the weekend edition. The government of the Bahamas is urging Bahamian nationals to exercise extreme caution when traveling to or residing in parts of the Middle East amid escalating regional tensions that could disrupt flights, airspace access, and local security conditions. Now, officials are advising Bahamians to avoid all travel to countries including Israel, Palestine, and Iran, and to avoid non-essential travel to Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Lebanon. The government is also urging heightened caution in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, and border areas of Turkey. Bahamian nationals currently in these areas are being advised to consider leaving if it is safe to do so, monitor official updates, and prepare for possible travel disruptions. Anyone requiring emergency assistance is encouraged to contact the Embassy of the Bahamas in Abu Dhabi. High on the list of concerns for residents going into the general election is the cost of living, and Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Alcaides, is claiming that it is high on the priority of the Davis administration as well, tooting the horn of the government's success in alleviating VAT and increasing minimum wage from $210 and up to $260 during its tenure in office.
We have been reducing customs duties and eliminating customs duties on food, construction materials, clothing, etc. Now we're moving to eliminate VAT together on food, unprepared food in the grocery store. Those are things that are immediately within the government's power that we have been doing. Remember, we also recall back in 2022, we expanded the list of items that were price controlled for a period of 6 months, and we also did it for medicine, where we expanded price control to on medicine. We did that to bring immediate relief.
Well, as you heard, Alcaides is arguing that the government has done everything in its control to bring relief to the Bahamians' pockets.
Unfortunately, there are many other things that we cannot control. So, for example, if you listen to what's happening in the United States, you have citizens there as well complaining about the cost of living. And so if complaining about the cost of living and how expensive things are, and we import from there, we will get that input. But I can say to the Bahamian people that is in as far as what we can control, we have acted from day one. We continue to act. Our energy reform is going to see light bills, which is a significant household and business expense, go down. And you're seeing some developments in agriculture to gradually increase the amount of food production that is done locally.
Well, tonight, a new piece of equipment coming from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, an ambulance. You've never heard it before, but tonight it's becoming all a possibility and a reality. This week, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force receiving a brand new ambulance to help save lives and quicken the process of helping others.
Its primary mission is to support the men and women of this force. However, it also serves to strengthen our ability to assist the nearby Coral Harbor community during life-threatening emergencies, if and when called upon. This investment, therefore, benefits not only the military, but also the wider community we serve. In the unfortunate event of a mass casualty incident within Coral Harbor, or even at the airport, the RBDF medical facility remains within immediate response range and ready to act. In doing so, it reaffirms their role as a frontline responder in times of crisis. This initiative aligns directly with Commander Defense Force's vision.
Well, speaking of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, it's now charting the way forward for a religious leader. Current president of the Bahamas Christian Council, Dalton Fernandez, is now shifting gears to becoming the head of the chaplain area of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. It's a new chapter as he is no longer able to run for president of the Christian Council.
When I leave the office of the president of the Christian Council last Tuesday in April, I would take over this position for chaplain of the Defense Force. This has had a long history. Apostle Raymond Wells has done a stellar job and continues to lead this organization greatly. And I'm glad that we have a relationship so that as the transition takes place, it's one where friends are transitioning hand in hand.
All right, shifting gears tonight, Opposition Leader Michael Pintard is taking a jab at the Davis administration on behalf of the people of Grand Bahama in the House of Assembly last week. Pintard said the people in the Northern Island are tired of sitting and waiting on the progress that the government touts, while taking a shot at the numerous announcements and press conferences of major projects, some of which have yet to materialize on the island. His comments come during the tabling of the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace resolution by Grand Bahama Minister Ginger Moxie and seconded by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper.
It has listened to promises about Grand Lucayan, Madam Speaker. It's heard timelines about the airport, Madam Speaker. It's been assured of major investments being imminent, Madam Speaker, but yet we do not see them. We promised a tremendous amount of development in West Grand Bahama, Madam Speaker, and now we hear from the Member of Parliament, mum's the word, Madam Speaker. Those projects are not materializing, and so daily he faces tall pressure as he moves through the community, unable to point to the fulfillment of commitments made by the full cabinet when they came down, Madam Speaker. And so yet after 5 years, Madam Speaker, too many of those promises remained unfinished, delayed, or unclear. The people of Grand Bahama do not need more announcements, which is, Madam Speaker, the nature of what is happening here, both by the mover and the seconder of this resolution. They need execution. They need follow-through. They need a government that moves beyond press conferences, breaking ground, and deliver results on the ground.
Even as the government prepares to commence work on the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace in Grand Bahama, Central Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Iram Lewis is urging Parliament to offer more empowerment to Bahamians to become owners in society. Lewis, the now Coalition of Independence representative, lamenting that Bahamians have always been given service opportunities instead of being the leaders of entities, and he's hoping that could change in the future.
For too long, our economic model has been built on the dignity of the paycheck. A paycheck that starts in the boardroom somewhere in London, New York, Canada, and ends in local bank account that is eventually emptied at the end of the month. Madam Speaker, there's a difference between a job and ownership. A job is a temporary shelter. Ownership is the foundation. Madam Speaker, there is an old African proverb that says, until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. If we apply that to our economy, until the Bahamian people are the owners of the marketplace, the wealth of our nation will always belong to the developer. We are not building a place, Madam Speaker, where Grand Bahamians go to punch a clock or a multinational corporation, for a multinational corporation. We are building a platform where the daughter of a store vendor in Lewis Yard becomes a global exporter. If we only prepare our people to be service providers, we are merely decorating the hallways of someone else's mansion.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the IR News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comment section below. We want to hear from you. And still to come tonight, Bahamian entrepreneurs could soon get a major boost on the global stage. And later, the Ministry of Education is hoping to complete pools in local schools, with the first to come in March. We've got more on that, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Bahamian ownership in fly fishing is very important. Not only does it create opportunities for Bahamians, this is our industry, so we're proud of what we do Opportunity is important. It's the story of my life because with the opportunities, you can chart your own course. Prime Minister Davis and his team see the opportunities by providing these grants and what it can do for our country. It's just wonderful. And I'm glad to see these ventures working so that other people can get involved. This is real. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's help ourselves.
The world is changing. It's bringing new challenges, but also new opportunities. The truth is, our economy always left too many Bahamians out. Now we're opening new doors in agriculture, tourism, energy, entrepreneurship, providing grants, scholarships, national service, and upskilling. A new generation is rising, and we're finally moving in the right direction, building an economy that includes everyone.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D. All backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Bahamas Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg, tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Bahamas Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This $150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Bronson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace, not too much water. Put it down, let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week, 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck, winners live here.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, Bahamian entrepreneurs could soon get a major boost on the global stage. The Bahamas Trade Commission is rolling out a new grant funding opportunity aimed at helping local businesses expand beyond the Bahamas. Chairman Barry Griffin says the initiative is designed to give Bahamian brands the resources they need to enter new regional and international markets, positioning local products to compete globally.
Bahamian entrepreneurs are particularly concerned about how do they get their products into other jurisdictions. And so the Bahamas Trade Commission has opened a new grant opportunity because one of the things I hear most from Bahamian entrepreneurs is that they have good products, but it can be very expensive and difficult to get them into the US in particular. So for small producers entering the US market, that means navigating FDA registration, labeling rules, ingredient compliance, and securing a US agent. These are structural barriers that we see, but they've quietly kept many Bahamian businesses out of the US market. This initiative tackles that. Through this grant, we are providing support for FDA facility registration, US agent services, compliance review, ingredient verification, and regulatory advice. So in other words, we're not just encouraging exports, We are building an export pathway.
With the application deadline set for March 6, Griffin is pushing Bahamian entrepreneurs not to miss the opportunity.
So, if you're a Bahamian manufacturer in food or cosmetics, I encourage you to apply. If you think your product is good enough to get into the United States, we want to help you do that. The budget is actually a mix of funding from the Bahamian government through the Ministry of Economic Affairs, grant funding through international partners, as well as regulatory advice from advisory services in the US. So it's not a straightforward number. So it's sort of hours that the grant agencies have given us for advisory and compliance services, but also funding from the ministry to support all of that. And so it depends on the complexity of applications of particular vendors that take up time and hours. So that's why we can't put an exact sort of figure or amount of people we're going to help. But as far as the grant funding can go and the funding from the Ministry of Economic Affairs, we want to help as many people as possible.
Well, in other news tonight, the Ministry of Education is nearing the completion of its Pooled in Local Schools program, with the first to come in March. Julian Anderson within the ministry says the government high school will be the first school to be outfitted with a pool this year, with more on tap to be completed within the year.
Well, in terms of the budget, I cannot speak to the budget, but I know that we are well on the way. We're about 80 to 90% completed with Government High and looking feverishly to complete Government High by the end of March. There are 4 schools right now that we're working on: Sadie Curtis, T.G. Glover, and C.H. Reeves, including Government High.
Also talking some sports news, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Bolag, says the stadium is near completion after several months of work, with hopes of hosting more international and local events.
The stadium is on target to be completely finished by, I think, by late May, early June. I think right now what might be most important of the whole up would be to put in the infrastructure of the fiber and all that first relates to the internet, so that the stadium could be internet ready when you want to live stream and broadcast from the stadium, which is the last aspect to be put in. I think that what is mostly going the whole up that I was advised by the general manager. But as far as the structure concerned and everything is on target, so we're looking at late May, early June, where we can probably recommit that stadium back to the public.
And he says the budget has stayed on target as they hope to open up that stadium very soon.
No blown in budget, because remember now, this budget is by the Chinese government who is paying for this, and so they seem that is the reason why it was shut down, so that they could continue on the time frame that they needed to get in and out of here, and so that's why there's no use of the facility right now, and so they're on target, and nothing has changed so far, so it shouldn't be any extra expense to them.
All right, can't wait to sit in those bleachers. Well, coming up in tonight's Sunday feature, third grader from Uriah McPhee Primary recently capturing the title of Bahamas Martial Arts Artist of the Year 2025. We'll tell you all about it right after this in tonight's Sunday feature.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice. wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go, to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, 8-year-old Demi Sargent is proving that dedication and talent knows no age. The third grader from Uriah McPhee Primary recently capturing the title of Bahamas Martial Arts Artist of the Year 2025. Linton Ritchie Jr. has the sit-down in tonight's Sunday feature.
Meet 8-year-old Demi Sargent, a third grade student at Uriah McPhee Primary. While she's an honor roll student in the classroom, Demi is just as impressive outside of it, dominating the mat in karate, a sport traditionally dominated by her male counterparts. Her latest accomplishment, Bahamas Martial Arts Artist of the Year 2025. The karate rising star telling Eyewitness News that the journey to the big stage began more than 3 years ago.
I used to do karate at my preschool, and my senpai thought that I was great at it, and she decided to tell her sensei to put me in the karate.
Last year, young Demi took over both the international and local karate stage, competing and coming out on top at the Miami Open back in June, the U.S. Open back in July, and she brought her winning spirit back home, competing and winning in the Long Island Karate Championship. But for the karate champ, she makes it clear that it's not all about winning.
I love that I get to help other children do what I have to do to get all of these trophies.
And make no mistake, Demi emphasizing that after school and her studies, most of her time is spent on the mat, ensuring she brings her best to competitions.
I think that I deserved it. I earned it with my hard work that I did.
As for what's ahead in 2026, young Demi says to remain humble and bring home more wins.
I want to make it to the big stage and be a grand champion. Makes me feel great, makes me want to be bigger and better, and it wants me to do stuff for my country.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, congratulations to you, Demi, and hopefully you could one day teach me some of those moves. But that does it for us in the weekend edition. For all of us here at Eyewitness News, I'm Devontae Hannah.